If you're an older adult and often find yourself awake at 3 a.m., you're not alone. You might think it's just part of getting older, but the truth is, your body may be quietly trying to tell you something important. Lying there in the stillness of the night, you start to wonder, why am I awake right now? Is something wrong? Today, we're going to explore 10 common reasons why many seniors tend to wake up around 3 a.m. From subtle biological changes, to unspoken emotional shifts, to small habits that seem harmless. Each reason not only helps explain why sleep changes with age, but also gives you practical insights on how to care for your body more gently each night. Because sleep isn't just about rest. It's a mirror reflecting our health, our emotions, and the rhythm of life in later years. And I'm here, not to give generic advice, but to walk with you through understanding, compassion, and a deeper appreciation for your aging body. Let's begin this meaningful journey right now. Number 1, declining melatonin. Why your sleep chemistry is changing and it's not your fault. Here's something few people tell you. Sleep in older adults is not what it used to be, and it's not your fault. As we age, the body produces less melatonin, a vital hormone that helps us fall asleep and stay asleep. Melatonin is like the doorman of sleep. When the sun goes down, it knocks gently and invites you into deep rest. But by the time you're in your 30s, 40s, and especially your 60s, that doorman starts showing up less and less. Eventually, maybe at 67, maybe at 73, you start waking up at 3 a.m., not because of nightmares or noise, but simply because there's not enough melatonin left to keep you asleep. Real life example, let me tell you about Mr. Walter, a 71-year-old living in Ohio. He used to sleep soundly, even through stressful work days. But in recent years, he began waking up every night, right at 3 a.m. No pain, no anxiety, just awake. He tried everything. Warm milk, changing pillows, even switching beds. Nothing worked. It wasn't until a routine checkup that he learned, the melatonin in your body has naturally decreased. It's just part of aging. Since then, he stopped blaming himself. Instead of getting anxious when he couldn't fall back asleep, he began taking gentle evening walks, dimming the lights before bed, and staying off his phone for at least an hour before sleeping. No sleeping pills, no forcing, just learning to honor the new rhythm of his body. A small lesson. Sometimes the body doesn't need fixing, it just needs to be understood. And once you realize that waking up in the middle of the night is not a problem, but a natural part of how your biology shifts with age, you'll breathe a little easier and rest with more peace. And if you've noticed that you don't just wake up in the middle of the night, but also feel sleepy unusually early or fully alert even before dawn, you may be experiencing something called advanced sleep phase, where your internal clock starts running earlier than it used to. We'll explore that in the very next section. Number 2, advanced sleep phase syndrome. Your body isn't broken, it's just ahead of schedule. Have you noticed that you start feeling sleepy earlier than before? Maybe it's only 8 p.m. and you're already nodding off. Then when the clock strikes 3 a.m., your eyes pop open, wide awake, while the rest of the world is still asleep. If that's happening to you, it may not mean you're insomniac, but rather that your body is simply following a new internal schedule. This phenomenon is called advanced sleep phase syndrome, a common shift in older adults where your body naturally starts falling asleep and waking up earlier than it used to. As we age, the biological clock, the internal system that regulates our sleep-wake cycle, starts running a bit earlier. If you used to sleep from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., your body might now quietly prefer 9 p.m. to 3 a.m., even if you never asked for that change. This isn't a psychological issue. It's not because you're worrying too much or thinking too hard. It's just your internal rhythm gently shifting, like summer slowly becoming autumn. A familiar story. Mr. James, 68, lives alone in suburban Oregon after retiring. Each night he would eat dinner at 5 p.m., watch TV around 6, and often doze off on the couch by 8 p.m. without even realizing it. By 3 a.m., he'd be wide awake, no dreams, no grogginess, just alert, as if the sun had already risen. At first, he thought he had developed insomnia, but after speaking with a sleep specialist, he learned, Your body is simply operating on a new clock, not a broken one, just an earlier one. Instead of fighting it, he gently adjusted his routine, delaying dinner by a little, avoiding reclining on the sofa after 7 p.m., reading under a warm, soft light to hold off drowsiness. Within a few weeks, he was falling asleep an hour later and waking up closer to 5 a.m., feeling more balanced and at ease. A small lesson. Sometimes for a more peaceful life, we don't need to fix the clock. We just need to shift our schedule to match it. Because your body isn't broken, it's just running ahead, and you can follow its lead, gently, without resistance. However, waking up at 3 a.m. isn't always about circadian rhythm. Sometimes it's due to physical discomforts, like lingering aches, nighttime urination, or just subtle bodily tension that quietly interrupt your rest. In the next section, we'll uncover some of these silent signals from your body. Small things that may seem insignificant, but are powerful enough to wake you up completely. Number 3, body discomforts that whisper in the dark. Not every 3 a.m. wake-up is caused by a racing mind or a shifting body clock. Sometimes it's the quiet aches, the ones that don't scream but whisper, that gently pull you out of sleep. Aging brings many gifts: wisdom, perspective, a deeper calm. But it also brings small discomforts, the kind only older adults truly understand. As we age, our tolerance for physical discomfort changes. Things that once seemed minor, like lying too long on one side or a slight pain in the knee, can now be enough to disturb your sleep. Conditions like arthritis, acid reflux, muscle cramps, dry mouth, or simply a feeling of fullness from a late dinner can quietly interrupt your rest. And for many older men, nighttime urination becomes a frequent issue. As the bladder loses elasticity, even mild pressure can wake you, often around 2 or 3 a.m. And once you've gotten out of bed, even just for a bathroom trip, your body slips into a half-awake state, making it harder to return to deep sleep. Elaine, 75, once believed she had chronic insomnia, but after a few weeks of jotting notes in a small notebook by her bed, she noticed a pattern. She always woke up shortly after a minor cramp in her left leg, something she hadn't been fully aware of before. After speaking with her doctor, she began to stay hydrated during the day, but reduce water intake after 7 p.m. Add magnesium supplements as recommended. Stretch her calves gently before bed. The result? She stopped waking up so early. No medication, no forcing sleep, just listening to her body and responding with kindness. Gentle lesson. Your aging body is not betraying you. It's softly reminding you of what needs care. Pay attention, not to worry, but to care more deeply. Even in the quiet hours of the night, your body deserves your compassion. And you know what? There's another kind of culprit that doesn't come from age or illness. It comes from your daily choices, your dinner time, the light in your room, or that cup of coffee in the afternoon. In the next part, we'll explore how your everyday habits may be quietly shaping your nights. Number 4, medication side effects, the hidden sleep saboteurs. You take your medications faithfully every day, a blood pressure pill in the morning, joint supplements after lunch, maybe a few vitamins before bed. Everything is taken correctly, the right dose at the right time. And yet, you still find yourself awake at 3 a.m. Sometimes you don't realize that those very medications you trust might be the quiet culprits stealing your sleep. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to medications, especially their nighttime side effects. Some common medications can cause frequent urination, such as diuretics or heart medications, slightly increase heart rate or cause restlessness, seen in some blood pressure or asthma medications, lower body temperature or cause dry mouth, both of which can make you wake up without knowing why. What makes this tricky is that these side effects often feel subtle and easy to ignore, and you may live with them for months before connecting the dots. Margaret, 74, living in Arizona, used to wake up every morning at exactly 3:15 a.m. She felt a light flush of warmth, thirst, and a vague sense of unease. At first, she blamed the weather, or simply her age, but during a doctor's visit, she brought it up. After reviewing her medications, her doctor realized something important. Her blood pressure pill, when taken too late in the day, caused a dip in her blood pressure overnight, making her feel restless. They didn't change the medication, they simply adjusted the timing, moving it to the morning and early afternoon. The result? Her early wake-ups nearly disappeared. No extra pills, no sleeping aids. Just a small change, in harmony with her natural rhythm. Gentle lesson. A good night's sleep isn't just about going to bed on time. It's a delicate balance between body, mind, and even your medication schedule. Talk to your doctor about your sleep, just as you would about your heart rate or blood pressure. Because sometimes the answer lies in one small detail you didn't think to mention. And then, there are the everyday habits. Dinner at 5 p.m., watching TV in a dark room, that cup of coffee after lunch. They seem harmless, but repeated daily without adjustment, they may gradually shift your sleep schedule without you even knowing it. In the next part, we'll explore how these small lifestyle habits can quietly take control of your body's internal clock and what you can do to gently reset it. Number 5. Evening habits that silently rewire your sleep clock. Have you noticed a familiar routine like this? Dinner at 5 p.m., evening news at 6 p.m., and by 8 p.m., you're already dozing off, sometimes before the show is even over. Then suddenly, you're wide awake at 3 a.m. The house is dark, quiet, and you're wondering, why am I up again? You might think it's just part of getting older, but the truth is, your evening habits may be quietly reprogramming your internal clock. Gentle explanation. Our bodies run on what's known as a circadian rhythm, an internal clock that's deeply sensitive to our daily patterns. Everything you do, from when you eat, what time you sit down to watch TV, to the light your eyes see in the evening, sends signals to your brain saying, it's time to wind down. So if you eat dinner early, stay inactive afterward, and spend the rest of the evening in dim lighting, your body may start producing melatonin as early as 7:30 p.m. And if you fall asleep around 8:30 or 9 a.m., by 3 a.m., your body thinks, that's 6 hours and time to wake up. It's not stress, it's not aging. It's simply that your bedtime may have gradually shifted earlier and earlier, without you even realizing it. Raymond, age 70, lived a very disciplined life after retirement. Every evening, dinner at 5 p.m., then the news, then quiet time on the sofa with a newspaper. Many nights he nodded off by 8 p.m. and woke up around midnight or 3 a.m., unable to fall back asleep. When he realized that his routine was subtly resetting his sleep clock, he made a few gentle changes. Moved dinner closer to 6 p.m., took a slow 20-minute walk in his backyard after eating, used warm lighting, and read a book instead of watching TV, avoided getting into bed before 9:30 p.m. After just a week, he found himself waking up closer to 5 a.m. and feeling more refreshed throughout the day. Gentle lesson: sleep doesn't begin when your head hits the pillow. It begins in how you live the last hours of your day. Simple habits, adjusted gently, can bring your body's clock back into harmony. Small shifts over time can make a big difference. But what if you still wake up at 3 a.m.? Even with the right dinner time, a steady routine, and no physical discomfort. Sometimes the cause isn't physical at all. It's emotional. Thoughts that haven't been resolved. Feelings that have no name yet. In the next part, we'll gently explore that quiet part of you that also wakes up in the night and wants to be heard. Number 6, emotional echoes. When your mind talks louder than your body. Not every 3 a.m. wake-up comes from physical pain or a disrupted routine. Some nights, there's no ache, no thirst, no cramp. And yet, you open your eyes in the quiet darkness. And if you listen closely, you'll realize it's not your body calling. It's something softer. It's the quiet voice of your soul. When life slows down, no more rushing to work, no grandkids running through the house, the mind begins to speak. Aging doesn't just bring stiff joints or slower steps. It also carries unspoken memories, quiet worries, and feelings we never had the chance to fully express. Studies show that many older adults experience nighttime recall, a deep emotional reflection that rises when the distractions of the day fall away. They remember a final conversation that never happened, an apology they never gave, a relationship left unresolved, or simply a quiet, aching sense of loneliness. Clara, 78, has lived alone since her husband passed away 6 years ago. During the day, she keeps busy, tending to her plants, calling her grandchildren, baking for her neighbors. But each night, like clockwork, at 3 a.m., she wakes up. Not in pain, not afraid, just filled with memories of her late husband. At first it scared her, but one night she placed a small journal by her bedside, and every time she woke up, she wrote something. A message, a line of poetry, a thought from the heart. In doing so, she gave her soul a voice, and slowly, those 3 a.m. moments turned from sorrow to gentle reflection. Gentle lesson. Not every sleepless night needs a pill. Sometimes your heart simply needs a moment to speak. And perhaps those early wake-ups are not disturbances, but invitations to heal, to understand, to reconnect with the quietest parts of your story. But what if it's not just restlessness you feel? What if it's a deep sense of emptiness, a longing for someone to talk to? In the next part, we'll gently explore the quiet impact of nighttime loneliness in older adults, and how healing doesn't always begin with words, but with genuine connection. Number 7, loneliness in the stillness. The missing connection. There's a kind of awakening that isn't caused by pain nor by worry. It's when you open your eyes in the middle of the night and realize you're alone. No footsteps echoing down the hall, no familiar breath beside you, just the stretching silence, making the room feel twice as large. Nighttime loneliness is very common among older adults, yet rarely spoken about. During the day, you might be busy with grandchildren, neighbors, or household chores. But when the lights go out, the activity stops, and the chair beside the bed is empty. The emptiness begins to grow. Studies show that a lack of social connection can increase the risk of insomnia, early awakenings, or shallow sleep, especially in older adults who live alone or have lost a spouse. It's not that your body isn't well, it's that your heart also needs someone to be there, even if it's just a small message or a simple, "How are you today?" Mr. Thomas, 80 years old, was once a pediatrician. He spent his life serving hospitals and other families, and upon retirement, he found himself alone in an old house. He was fine during the day. He read books, gardened, and wrote his memoirs. But at 3 a.m., he would wake up and feel the space between the walls grow wider by the day. A granddaughter suggested he try the Telegram app to reconnect with old friends and join small community groups of his generation. At first, he hesitated, but then each night he started sending a greeting, an old photo, or simply the words, "Good night." Gradually, he felt better. Those 3 a.m. awakenings were no longer moments of loneliness, but quiet moments of connection. A small lesson. The body needs sleep, but the soul also needs the presence of others. Even if you've been strong your whole life, there's nothing wrong with needing someone to simply listen. Don't wait until loneliness becomes a habit. Open your heart first, even if it's just through a simple message. "I'm still here. How about you?" And sometimes it's not just emotions or circumstances, but your diet, blood sugar levels, and tiny nutritional habits that silently affect your sleep. In the next section, we'll explore the surprising role of nutrition and blood sugar in causing 3 a.m. awakenings. Number 8, nutrition and blood sugar dips, the forgotten trigger. You might not think of it right away, but one of the reasons older adults often wake up at 3 a.m. could come from dinner or the absence of it. It's not because you're hungry, it's because your blood sugar quietly dips, triggering the body's alert mode and waking you up in the middle of the night. Your body needs a stable blood sugar level to maintain deep sleep. When you eat too early, don't eat enough nutrients, or skip an evening snack, your blood sugar can drop around 2 to 3 a.m., just when you're supposed to be in the deepest phase of sleep. At that point, your brain reacts by releasing cortisol, the stress alert hormone, and you wake up without knowing why. You're not hungry. You're not worried. You're just awake and restless. Mr. Ben, 76, spent his life as a farmer. After retirement, he stuck to his habit of eating dinner at 5 p.m. and nothing afterward. Every night, he would wake up around 3 a.m., lightly sweating, slightly anxious, and then unable to fall back asleep. An old friend, a former nurse, suggested he try a small bedtime snack, like half a banana with a spoon of peanut butter or a glass of warm milk. After just a few nights, he noticed he no longer woke up at 3 a.m., and each morning he felt refreshed instead of groggy. A small lesson: nutrition doesn't just fuel you during the day, it also helps you sleep peacefully through the night. Small changes to your evening meals can prevent unexplained awakenings and help you feel cared for from the inside out. And if you've ever thought that a cup of tea or a glass of wine in the evening would help you relax and sleep better, you might be surprised. In the next section, we'll uncover the hidden effects of caffeine, alcohol, and slower metabolism with age, and how they may be silently keeping you awake, even when you don't want them to. Number 9. Caffeine, alcohol, and the aging liver. What's still in your system at 3 a.m.? You used to be able to drink a cup of coffee at 4 p.m. and still sleep soundly through the night. You used to sip on a glass of red wine after dinner as a relaxing ritual without a second thought. But now just a sip of coffee or a small glass of wine, and you're wide awake at 3 a.m., eyes open, heart gently racing, and your sleep long gone. When you're young, your liver, the body's natural filter and detoxifier, works quickly and efficiently. But after age 60, liver metabolism slows down. This means caffeine and alcohol can linger in your system for many hours, long after you assume they're gone. Caffeine isn't just in coffee, it's also in tea, chocolate, and certain cold medications. Alcohol, on the other hand, may initially make you feel sleepy, but after a few hours, as your liver processes it, it can disrupt your sleep and cause midnight awakenings. And at this age, even a small amount can be enough to make a difference. Mr. Joseph, 73, had a 30-year habit: a glass of red wine at 8 p.m. as a reward after a long day. Lately, he began waking up around 3 a.m., feeling a bit restless and unable to go back to sleep. At first, he thought it was just part of getting older. But when he stopped drinking wine for a week, everything changed. His sleep lasted longer, felt deeper, and he woke up feeling less tired and less irritable. A small lesson: there are things a younger body can handle with ease, but as you age and gain more life experience, your body asks for gentler, more mindful care. Listening to your body doesn't mean giving up what you love. It means finding better timing, smaller portions, and kinder ways to nurture yourself. As you've seen, there isn't just one reason why you wake up at 3 a.m. From hormones, circadian rhythm, emotions, habits, even a tiny cup of coffee or a late-night pill. But whatever the reason may be, the most important thing is this: your body is trying to tell you something. In the final section, we'll return to the first question. Not how can I stop waking up at 3 a.m., but rather, what is my body truly needing in this quietest hour of the night? Let's bring this journey to a close with compassion, gentleness, and hope. Number 10. Listening, not fighting. Turning 3 a.m. into a moment of grace. There are nights when you open your eyes at 3 a.m. You're not in pain, you're not worried, but you also can't fall back asleep. And in that moment, you have two choices. You can fight to fall asleep again, or you can quietly listen to what your body and soul are trying to tell you. Waking up in the middle of the night isn't always a sign that something is wrong. Sometimes it's the only truly quiet time of the day. A time when you don't have to do anything for anyone, don't have to rush, don't have to respond to anyone. It's just you, with yourself. Sleep research shows when we accept a nighttime awakening with calmness, the body responds differently. The heart rate slows, the nervous system relaxes, and sleep can naturally return within 15 to 30 minutes. Evelyn, 84 years old, calls 3 a.m. her sacred hour. She doesn't turn on the lights. She doesn't check her phone. Instead, she sits up, pulls back the curtain, and looks out at the garden behind her house. Sometimes she whispers a passage from scripture. Sometimes she simply breathes deeply. Some nights she writes a few lines in her little notebook. I'm still here. I've lived one more day, and I still love. She doesn't see waking up as a failure. She sees it as a gifted moment to simply be herself uninterrupted. A small lesson: sleep, like life, isn't always smooth. But when you stop fighting it and begin to listen, to understand, to accept. You may find that even 3 a.m. can become a moment of grace, peace, and freedom. You've journeyed with me through 10 reasons, from biology, emotions, and habits to the soul, to understand why older adults often wake up at 3 a.m. And beyond just knowledge, I hope you found here some empathy, a sense of calm, and a new perspective on yourself. In the final part, I'll summarize this entire journey and share a few simple ways you can sleep better and live more gently, starting tonight. Don't go just yet. The conclusion is waiting for you right after this. You've just taken a journey, not with your feet, but with your heart and awareness. Together, we've explored 10 silent reasons why older adults often wake up at 3 a.m. 1. Melatonin decline, how your sleep chemistry changes with age. 2. Shifted circadian rhythm, your body naturally sleeps and wakes earlier. 3. Minor aches and pains, subtle, but enough to disrupt sleep. 4. Medication side effects, often overlooked. 5. Evening habits, quietly reprogramming your internal clock. 6. Unspoken emotions, your mind seeking to be heard. 7. Loneliness, the empty space that grows deeper at night. 8. Nutrition, blood sugar dips waking you up. 9. Caffeine and alcohol, an aging liver that processes more slowly. 10. And finally, a message from within, reminding you to listen, not fight. Growing older isn't an ending. It's a new chapter of knowing yourself, caring for yourself, and loving yourself more deeply. And if there's ever a night when you wake up again at 3 a.m., try offering yourself a soft smile and whisper, "Hello, my body. I hear you. I'm still here." A friendly call to action. If this video touched something in you, or if you believe a loved one or friend might be going through the same experience, please share it with them. Because a good night's sleep sometimes begins with a warm-hearted conversation. And if you'd like more gentle, meaningful videos like this one, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell. I'm still here, and I'll be back with more kind moments made just for you.